good, cold, fresh water, something that the world is soon to run out of if things like the BP oil spill continue to keep happening all over the world. I mean, I don't even know how many times we're going to hear of a well blowing up somewhere, on land or sea. But that's not the point. I'm going to get to the issue. Matt Simmons was assassinated. But not by the CIA, not by the FBI, not even by FEMA. No, Matt Simmons was assassinated by BP Oil. Now, you might say, why? I mean, first of all, he wasn't a threat to national security. The guy was an expert in oil energy. Matter of fact, he is the founder, and was the founder, of the Ocean Energy Institute, and he was a leading expert. He was not a national security threat, but he was a threat to BP Oil and its existence on the planet. On July the 19th, MSNBC host Dylan Ratigan had Matt Simmons on television, and while he was on the telephone with him, he told Dylan Ratigan, he said, listen, this SEEP, this thing they're calling a SEEP, it's ridiculous. Said this is nothing but a lie. It's a diversion tactic to keep people from the reality. BP does not want to admit to people that there's undersea, around 11 to 1,200 feet below the surface, huge lakes of plumes of solid oil, and that the pressure to 6,800 psi on the regulator. Said that isn't the pressure on the bulkhead. He said that's the pressure. That's just the leftover pressure after the explosion. There has to be a hole by the drill bit that has blown out the casing of this well. Whenever BP was first saying 5,000 barrels of oil was spewing out a day, he said that's impossible. He said it had to be more like 60,000 barrels. He was the first to break that news to the EPA and to NOAA. Remember, Matt Simmons understood exactly what was happening. So he died of a heart attack and drowned in his hot tub in his home. Yeah, right. And I got some swampland down in Louisiana, I'd like to sell you, that don't have oil in it. So look, Matt Simmons was assassinated, but BP Oil is the one that had the most to gain by shutting up the mouth of Matt Simmons. And then on July 21st, on Bloomberg TV, Matt Simmons went on television and said, he told him, he said, look, the ocean is bleeding. He said it's toxic oil and lethal gases are spewing out at the bottom of the ocean floor. He said if a hurricane would to come with any strength at all, it would require the evacuation of the entire Gulf Coast, or people would die from the lethal gases. He said, we've killed the Gulf of Mexico. Quote, Matt Simmons, we've killed the Gulf of Mexico. He said this deep oil leak is at least 10 miles away. It will cost over $1 trillion to clean it up. We're not even scraping the surface with this $20 billion they've laid aside. Matt Simmons was killed, not by the government of the United States, but BP Oil. I'm Paul Begley. Research it. Research it. I'm reporting.